Hello, 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 everyone. It's Dr. Tamara Beckford, and welcome to the Dr. Tamara Beckford Show. Okay, this one is for my ladies. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, we're talking about mastering menopause and managing your weight. Now, wouldn't you love to learn how to do that, especially in this transformative years, the years when the hormones are just going up and down? It's the second part of adolescent, right? We had that adolescent, junior high when things were just going crazy, and now this is junior high part two. But one of the crazy things about it is that we end up having the hormones are changing, and then you start having what? Weight gain, and you're trying to get rid of the weight. Like, how do we do all of that? Have no fear. This is what this wonderful doc is here to show us, because she's an expert in all of this. Now, let me bring her on in my usual fashion. Okay, so this wonderful sister doc of ours, she's a graduate of Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School. And now I'm cheering because we both went to the same med school. That's right. UMD&J, University of New Jersey.
Brick City.
Now, New Jersey Medical School. She did a residency in emergency medicine. She did hers in New York at Jacobi and Montefiore Medical Center in Bronx, New York. Now, she's board certified in emergency medicine. She's also a best-selling author, a dynamic speaker, fitness and weight loss coach, menopause wellness expert, an autism parent, and an advocate. Now, she is the founder of Dr. Di Fitness, where she uses her extensive clinical experience and expertise in fitness and weight management to support her clients. Now, she's a champion of a holistic approach to health, focusing on disease prevention, weight loss, menopause wellness, longevity, and overall well-being. She is a sought after speaker. You might have seen her on TV, because I did. You've seen her in magazines, you've seen her on podcasts, and you've also seen her at wellness conferences, summits. And for those of you who are local, you might have seen her in your church, because she is such a champion for what she does. She goes and she speaks and all of those platforms. Now, who am I talking about? The one and only Dr. Dianah Lake. Dr. Di Fit Live. Everybody else,
so good to be here.
I call her Lady Di because that's how she does. She's royal. How are you, my dear?
Oh my gosh. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for that invitation. It was wonderful. So
love it.
I'm so honored to be here with you.
Absolutely. I'm honored to have you here. And, this is our second time getting on this wonderful platform, and we're diving in. So today, for those of you guys who are like, OMG with this menopause, we're going to give you the top three ways. Dr. Di is going to give you top 3 ways on how you can lose weight during this wonderful transition period of our lives. All right, but before we do all that, let's get to know her, right? So tell us, Dr. Di, what made you decide to do medicine in the first place?
Oh, great question. So for me, I was 14 and I finished high school early. So I was 14 and in the 11th grade, and I had a conversation with my mom, who actually wanted to be a nurse before having me, getting pregnant with me, and didn't go to nursing school. So she had her own agenda, of kind of pushing it forward on me. And we had a conversation about what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something that was in service, right? Something that helped the community, something that that would be giving back, right? I knew I wanted to do that. She pointed out, we were having this conversation in their bedroom, in my parents' bedroom. We're just hanging out in there, and I was actually going to leave Liberia, where I was born. So I was still in Liberia, and they were planning to send me to Rutgers for college. So I was going to come to the US for college, and then we didn't know what was going to happen after that. So this conversation was around that. Like, okay, you're going to go to Rutgers, then what? Right? Like, what are you going to do afterward? And so we started to talk, and she just highlighted, she was like, well, you're good at the sciences. You like, you want to give back. What do you think about being a doctor? So it wasn't really my idea.
There you go.
My idea. But I was like, you know what? I like the idea. At first, I thought I just wanted to travel. So
Yeah.
initially, I told her, I said, I want to be a flight attendant. I want to see the
Mm-hmm.
world. When my dad was in banking and he traveled a lot for, banking conferences and things, and he would
Mm-hmm.
come back with all these cute little, trinkets and things from different places. So I was like, I want to travel. That's what I want to do. And he was like, oh, the flight attendants take people places, but they don't stay. Oh,
Oh.
then we need a backup. And then we started talking about medicine, and she brought it up. She was like, what do you think about being a physician? And then she
Mm-hmm.
told me her own story of how
Mm.
this was a dream of hers that didn't come true. And
Right.
she was like, I think you could do it. And I was like, okay. And you know how medicine is. Once you say yes, it's just like a funnel. You
Yes.
just go down the path, right? So
Mm-hmm.
once I said, okay, I'm open, then it was like, you're going to go to college, you're going to do pre-med, you're going to, and you just kind of funnel through,
Absolutely.
once you know you want to do it, then you just kind of go through the steps. It's like a pathway. You just go, okay, this is the next thing now, and this is the next thing. And
Yes.
so I started at 14 with that thought. And
Mm-hmm.
then, ultimately did emergency medicine
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to do OB. I
Mm-hmm.
was hardcore women's health, Planned Parenthood, and I was in the village, like at the Planned Parenthood there, like I was gonna do OB.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did the rotation. I was
Morristown. I love Morristown. I love you,
I
Morristown.
was like, oh no, this is not the lifestyle I want.
Oh,
And I love my OB friends, and I love
yes.
OB.
No, they work
They work hard.
hard.
And I just
Oh my
knew
gosh.
me, sis. And I was like, this is not for me, y'all.
Yes.
Somebody else can do it. This is not for me. I loved
Mhm.
emergency medicine because it give you a little bit of surgical stuff. It give you a little bit of neurology. It give you a little bit of ortho. It give I'm listen. My brain, the way it works, I was like, I need to be in a lot of things, and it just worked for my personality. I
Absolutely.
love that there's no beeper. Nobody's calling you after you're done with work. When you're done, you're done. And I was just like, this fits more with who I am,
Right.
and you're still giving back in a
Absolutely.
big way to the community,
Absolutely.
right? But you have a lifestyle that works.
Mhm.
I do 6 vacations a year. I'm a self-care queen,
She is
right?
the self-care queen. I really dubbed her. I was like, you are the self-care queen. We talked about it on our first interview. Like, yes. So the lifestyle took
Yes,
place.
I needed to have that. I needed,
Yes.
and it was at an early stage of life. I was still in my 20s,
Mm-hmm.
right? In med school. And I just knew that I wanted a different type of lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
while practicing medicine. And I'm so
Absolutely.
grateful that I pushed that, down that path and not being stuck in, oh, but I want to do women's health. I'm still doing women's health now.
Yes. And that's the beauty of when we think about our lives, there are many pathways to
Yes.
get to that
Yes.
ultimate goal that we have. And the life is about the journey while we're on that pathway, right? It's about the journey of you still now getting to do women's health. And interestingly so, when we go into our specialty, such as emergency medicine and so on, our specialty, it's not the newest, but it's still a very new specialty.
Right.
Maybe we're medium, when we're like
Hmm.
medium time frame. When we were in it at the beginning, it was still kind of newish.
Yeah.
But when you went into that specialty, you went in and you were able to tap into, like, all the emergencies from everyone else's specialty. And that's, why our specialty is named emergency medicine. But we still have goals and we still have this underlying drive, and there's a passion for you is a passion for women's health.
Yeah.
And once you're in a specialty, sometimes you think like, okay, well, you went to that specialty, maybe you won't be able to do this anymore, maybe that was a far-fetched dream. But now you're realizing, no, it's not a far-fetched dream, it's just a journey towards the dream. You can make your life the way you want it and tap
Absolutely.
into the part that you love. So, yes, you're still taking care of people in emergency medicine, but now, in addition to that, you still get to take care of women. And you've been doing that in, as Lady Di Fitness for at least, I know, for at least, I've been seeing it for at least 6 years.
8 years. I mean, 8 years. 8 years
And
of
then
doing
see, I've
fitness.
been seeing it for 6 years, and you were 2 years before that. So eight
Yes.
years of being able to tap in.
MMFT. Hey.
No, so for everyone, I agree with you when we tell her to stop lying to us about that she's 50. I agree that she needs to stop, a good like 37.2
Oh,
or
you're too
whatever.
kind.
You know what I'm saying? But okay. If you say so, if you say that you're 50, okay. But you look fabulous. But the thing that I love about like even watching your journey, like I said, for me, for 6 years watching your journey, is that you have brought us along with you on this journey, and you've always are authentic about what's going on in life and the transition that's going
Yes,
on in life.
that
Because
part.
yeah, because even though you are, you're like you're a mom, you are, a fitness queen, you are, you're speaking on a TV, you're doing wellness, you're speaking on stages and so on. You're an advocate for women, and for women understanding their body, how their bodies change, and the importance of fitness in
Yes.
their lives. And that's, what I'm like, whoa, you've always tapped into that. And you've always tapped into how to do it in a way that is unique for like that person.
Yes,
Yeah,
because we're
because your
all
life is busy. Let's put it like that. You emergency medicine, so you don't got no
yes,
schedule.
yes.
So
I mean,
think about it.
let's just talk about
Yeah,
me, right?
yes.
Divorced, dating, special needs mom, right?
Mhm,
Kids with ADHD, autism, anxiety. Okay. So
mhm.
anyone who's a special needs mom and deals with the school system, that's a whole job within itself, right?
Absolutely.
Then I'm doing locums. So I'm
So you have.
traveling every other week out of state for work
Mhm,
when I don't have my kids and my ex-husband has them. And I'm very open about the complexities of my life because
mhm.
social media is so fake, right?
Ah, for real.
Like people
Mhm.
just show you the good things, a little glimpse of, oh, we did this, and oh, but
My
in the
vacation is
in
so
the behind the
fantastic.
right. So I show you the messy parts. I
Mhm,
show you the struggle when I'm trying to get my son to learn how to tie his shoes, and it took us 3 hours of sitting there doing it over and over again. I show you the wins when there's an autism win. I show you
mhm,
the challenges. I
mhm,
show you what it's like, trying to be a traveling doc, what that looks like. I drove
mhm.
9 hours coming from West Virginia in the snow to get home last weekend because I was
Ooh,
going 30 miles an hour because the
yes,
roads were, so
mhm,
it's like when you live authentically,
yes.
people feel it.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
I think being real and showing people, look, this is not, some glamorous thing. We work
Mhm,
hard to be
yes,
here. We
absolutely,
work hard to look the way we look and feel the way we look, right?
absolutely.
And so I'd like to share from that vantage point that
Mhm,
it's not impossible to do this,
absolutely.
right?
Mhm,
It's not impossible to do this. You can do this. You get to do it because you're committed to it, right?
absolutely.
You have a big why that
Mhm,
when you achieve this, you're gonna look and feel amazing. You're going to show up very powerfully in all spaces. People are
absolutely.
gonna be like, "Who's that?"
Mhm. Confident,
Yes,
know
and
things
a
inside
raise.
out.
Getting a raise. I have clients who've literally gotten raises because they show up differently now, right?
Absolutely.
They have a completely different mindset of how they show up in spaces,
Mhm,
right? And then
mhm,
when you get to, I'm like I said, when I'm 50, I'm perimenopausal, right?
mhm.
When you get to this stage of life, it's like, whoa, this is a whole different
It's a different
ball
ball
game.
game.
How do we
Mhm,
deal with this? And there are
absolutely.
answers for that.
Yes.
Our grandmothers just kind of suffered and endured, and
Mhm.
they're just like, oh, you're going through the change, and you just kind of dealt, right, and endured.
Abs
But
Mhm,
with all of the, the updates in menopause wellness now, you don't have to
mhm,
endure, right? We've got
mhm.
patches we can give you for hormone replenishment. We've got oils you can rub on. We've got different things, and the science has evolved, right?
Absolutely.
because people used to be so afraid, oh, I'm going to get cancer if I take, estrogen and all these things. We've defunct all of those things now. That these things work.
Yeah.
And we want to give you the minimum dosing you need of hormone replenishment to get the outcome you're looking for. We're not trying to overdose people, right?
Right.
So you really want to work with somebody when it comes to menopause who, has done some training in this area, that understands the medications, that understands, who this would be, ideal for, right? And we're not just throwing medication at you. I'm very much a holistic practitioner in every way, even in the ER.
Yes. No, because we know overall, when you approach people from where they are, you're able to have a better outcome, right?
Yes.
Because if you approach them to a level where they understand what's going on, then you know that you're going to have more compliance. They're going to be
Compliance,
more
absolutely.
likely to do what. But if you're coming from a standpoint of, I know everything, da 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 da, that's when you'll have that resistance, or
Mhm.
that person that just might smile because they're polite, but
Yes, we're just
behind
kind of
they're
moving
just
it
like,
along.
yeah, they're like, I don't know if this person's for me.
Yes.
So that authenticity that you bring to those who are seeing you on social media, the authenticity that you bring to your clients, it helps because it does show. Because for those who are watching, like literally, this is the doc that I see. She's like, okay, I just finished my shift, but my goal is 14 workouts this month. So here I am. And she's like, and she's like, come join me. I'm doing the
Oh my
elliptical.
gosh.
Who's coming and joining me on the elliptical? I'm like, girl, you just finished a shift and you jumping on the elliptical. She was like, I'm checking off my boxes. I got 14 workouts for the month. And I'm on workout number 13. We ain't about to not win it this month. I'm like, she is not playing.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Because our vision, right?
Absolutely.
Our vision for who we are born to be, who we know God put us on this planet to be, is not mediocre.
Absolutely.
It's not. And if you're listening right now and you're in this state of mediocrity and you're just doing the bare minimum, and you're doing the bare minimum, right? You know there's something bigger out there for you. You know that your life could be expansive, but you're
Absolutely.
playing small. We don't play small.
No.
We don't. We just don't. That's not in our blood. And if you're not playing small, that you show up differently. Your
Absolutely.
mindset is different, right? You go into things with tenacity. I'm doing it no matter what. It's not whether it's happening, it's when,
When will it
right?
happen?
It's
Because
when.
it's going
What
to
time am I
happen.
doing this,
Yes.
right? And when I drove from West Virginia the other day, I was in the car for so long. As soon as I got home, I got on my elliptical. Late
What
at
did
night,
I tell y'all? What did I
I needed to get, like, I just felt
movement?
like I needed to move.
Mm-hmm.
I took only one stop halfway through. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I got to move my body. Like, I just
Mm-hmm.
felt like sitting for that long was like too much. And
Absolutely.
so, for menopause and perimenopause,
Mm-hmm.
strength training is golden.
Yes.
Right. And I know we're going to go into, what are the things people should really start doing
Yeah, we
when
can
they,
start with now. Like number
yeah,
one. Number one.
yeah,
Strength training.
strength training for women over 40. If
Mm-hmm.
you are over 40, ladies, and you're not adding strength training to your, repertoire of things you're doing for your wellness, you're doing yourself a huge disservice,
Mm-hmm.
because not only will it improve your bone density, right? So let's just get into some of the, the data around menopause and perimenopause, right? So
Mm-hmm.
around age 35, right? Some of
Mm-hmm.
my workshops that do on menopause, I show them diagrams and graphs and things. It shows literally around age 35, your production of all of these hormones in your body start to drop,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like tapering down, right? So, your estrogen, your progesterone, your growth hormone, right? Like all the testosterone, a lot of these hormones are dipping,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And let's also take them in I'm adding to that a lot of our high achieving women, they're not starting their families until around that time too. And a lot of
Yes,
nutrients, like,
yes,
you're having,
yes.
I had my first kid at 36.
Yes.
So
So
I was already
when you
losing
add that
nutrients.
in, yes, when you add in that a lot
Mm-hmm.
of professional women are waiting till later, until their career is in a good place. They've met somebody that's worth having a child with. Right? That's a whole, other story. But you've gotten to a point where you feel, okay, I'm ready now to start a family, right? Things are aligned, things make sense, financially and the other ways. Then it's like you're at that stage chemically in your body where things are kind of, taking a dive, right? But if you don't know that, right? Because most people don't know this. This is not common information for the lay person. They don't know, on a chemical level in their body what's happening. They just know their body's changing.
Yes.
Right? They just know that when they were 20 years old, they could snap back like that.
Yes.
Snatched. What?
Yes.
Now they're 40 and it's like,
and the belly went back flat. That's it.
Yes. But now at 45, you do all the things you used to do before, but it's not working. And it's not working because you're in a complete, hormonal disarray, right? All of these hormones that were really supportive in you being able to snap back, your growth hormone, all those things, right? Growth hormone is like your fountain of youth hormone. It makes you feel a sense of vitality. That dips too, right? And growth hormone is produced when you sleep. So guess what? What goes to crap when you're in menopause? Your sleep.
Your sleep.
So if you're not sleeping, right, now it's affecting your growth hormone production. Now it's affecting your body's ability to tone and sculpt, because muscle sculpting and toning and repair happens when you're sleeping.
When you're sleeping.
Right?
Yep.
So us doctors who in the industry of medicine give ourselves a badge of honor for working with only 4 hours of sleep, that is not cute. That is not a badge of honor, right? That is not self-care.
No.
So look at it's almost like a domino effect.
Absolutely.
The hormones are dropping. It's giving you incredible insomnia. You're having hot flashes at night that wake you up. You're having night sweats, literally sweat in your armpits, and it's winter.
Like that snowstorm we're having outside.
I was like, what in the world? I was like, it's cold. Why am I sweating? Right? And if you don't realize this is perimenopause, some people go nuts because they feel like they're going crazy. And some people do get palpitations, racing thoughts. Those are all, make sure your thyroid is okay, right? Make sure those palpitations and, anxiety and those things that may be happening, it's not coming from like an organic condition, like, hyperthyroidism or something. So a lot of the people I work with for menopause wellness, we do a panel to make sure organically they don't have other sources for these symptoms.
Absolutely.
Right. So
and that what we call rule out other things,
exactly.
where that this is truly due to this particular hormonal change.
Right. So I want to make sure you're not severely anemic, and that's why your heart rate is 120 at rest.
Yes.
Right. I want to make sure it's not your thyroid. I want to make sure, you know what I mean? So we go through a panel to make sure there's no organic reason for why you're having these symptoms. When you clear all of those things, because menopause and perimenopause is a great mimicker, right? Yes. It mimics so many other conditions. So you want to make sure you're not missing something that is treatable with, there's an actual treatment plan for that particular thing, and not just throw your arms up and say, oh, it's menopause. No, we have to make sure first that's why you want to go to the right people to support you with this, right? Who have the medical know-how, who are trained in this area to be able to actually make sure that not only are you getting screened for other things that could be causing similar symptoms, but once you're cleared from those other things, they can then now guide you. And literally these women 6 to 8 weeks in, they're like, Dr. Lake, my libido's back. Right? Yes. I mean, the medicines are very effective, and literally 8 weeks in, women are seeing, these symptoms go away, and we titrate them too. So that one person might need 2 drops of estrogen, if you're doing the bioidentical hormones, if you're doing oils, if you're doing patches, there are different modalities, right? I'm not a huge fan of pellets at all. All right. So for those of you who have heard some of your, medical practitioners and clinicians telling you about pellets, really do your research on that, because the dosing for pellets, it's not as easy to regulate,
Mm.
right? And it may
Mhm.
have testosterone levels in there. I mean, there are anecdotal stories of women having men sounding voices
Oh no.
because of the high level of testosterone in the pellets. So pellets for me is a no-no, right?
Mhm.
You're not inserting a pellet in there in your vagina, and then this dose is, you end up with a very high dose that's now in your body. You can't reverse that, right?
Right.
So you really want to work with someone who will titrate your dose,
Mhm.
right? For you, like I said before, one person may require 4 drops, of progesterone, for their mood to be stabilized, right? Progesterone is a mood stabilizer.
Mhm.
So when progesterone drops significantly, and like I was telling you before, it tapers down from age 35. The average age of menopause in the US for women is 52. So by the time you hit 50, 51, 52, that the production of those hormones, I don't want to
Right.
say non-existent, but they're
A
like
little.
hindered, right?
Yeah.
It's like all the way down to minimal amounts,
Mhm.
right? And so you get to decide, do I want to live with these symptoms, or do I want to look for treatment options?
Right. And the thing about the changes that happens with these hormonal changes in women, like
Hmm.
we said, historically, it's just been like, oh man, I just have to deal with it. But then when we really think of the impact that it has in someone's life, women, we are doing a lot more. So we're in positions where we make great decisions. We're in
Hmm.
positions where, we're leading companies, we're leading organizations. And to have this external factor that's disrupting your life, you can see the impact that it can have on that woman's career, where
Yes.
it's similar to the, oh, is it that time of the month type
Hmm.
of
It happened while I was at work at Andrews Air Force Base here in Maryland. I
Hmm.
was at work at Andrews in the ER, and a highly, I don't know what they call it in the military, but like,
Decorated.
right, a
Yeah.
highly ranked military official literally went into a hot flash for the first time in a meeting.
Hmm.
And the men in there had no idea what to do with her. They brought her down to the ER, said she was having a heart attack.
Mm.
When I spoke with her, kind of broke down what was really going
Mhm.
on, what her true symptoms were, how did it start, getting the HBI, right? Going
Yeah.
down and getting all the details. I was like, you had a head flash,
Oh,
right? But you don't know until you know. Like, you don't
right.
know what you don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. And look at,
the
I mean,
men don't know either.
look at this now lady, she has to go back in this position where
She's embarrassed, and she was like, I was sweating,
absolutely.
and the men don't know either. So
Hmm.
I've actually done talks for fraternities. The men want to know what's going on with their women.
Absolutely.
They want to know why this is happening. They want to
Hmm.
know what's going on with the woman they're with, right? And I think
Hmm.
that's very kind and supportive,
Yeah.
right? Because they're not women, right?
Hmm.
So to be an advocate for the women in your lives, or the women you work with, or the women in your circle, and try to
Hmm.
understand what menopause is like for us, that's really kind,
Yeah.
right? Because
Absolutely. Well, it takes, like, the community for us to progress, because as we mentioned, you have people who are doing extraordinary things. You have women in extraordinary positions, and to lose a brilliant mind because someone who's in a position like that, you never know, without being able to get that support, that hormonal support, to get to feel back to normal, to get
Mhm,
that fogginess to go away, those racing thoughts, that feeling of insecurity, to erase all of that, and to be able to get that person back being confident, being able to
mhm,
deliver at the level that they know themselves to be able to deliver, right? I cannot imagine being able to deliver at a high level for 20 years, and then one day,
yes,
boom, and then you start doubting yourself, and
yes.
gradually, starting to lose more and
And
more
you're wondering when it's going to happen again, and you don't want to be embarrassed, and you don't
Yes.
want to have to walk out of a room because you feel it coming on. It just
Mhm.
really disrupts your life. And
Absolutely.
people who haven't gone through it don't understand. It
Mhm.
disrupts your life to a point where people are having anxiety over it.
Mhm.
They can't sleep at night. And then that's the other thing. You're so exhausted because you
Mhm.
can't get good quality sleep. And then you're supposed to show up the next day like you had a
At
full
the top
seven,
of
eight
your
hours of
game.
sleep. And
Yeah.
everyone's expecting you to be this gregarious, like
Mhm.
well put together person when you're suffering. Like
Yes.
literally, I feel like going through these symptoms is suffering.
Mhm.
People are just enduring, and they're just, making the best they can. You want to change the way you eat, right?
Mhm.
You want to go strictly on anti-inflammatory foods, things
Mhm.
with omega-3 acids in them that will really support, inflammation in the body. All right.
Mhm.
You want to start getting a sleep hygiene,
Mhm.
turning off social media, turning off things with blue light, turning off things that are going to keep your brain wired and
Yeah.
alert, right?
Mhm.
You literally, when you get to perimenopause, you got to have a sleep hygiene, right? Where maybe when you were in your 30s, it didn't matter. You would put the phone down and just go to sleep.
And when
But
you're in your
now,
20s, you barely slept because you're out partying.
but now it's like you need
It
structure.
is
You
structure.
need structure, right? And so the programs that I run, almost
Mhm.
everyone, I think I might have two people that are in their 30s in my
Mhm.
program currently. The oldest person in my program is 67,
Mhm.
right? So it's a big range of women that are doing fitness, weight loss, menopause, wellness. And, I say to all of them, one thing you want to do is make sure that you're adding more weights,
Yeah.
right? You're adding more weights, which is going to work really well to get rid of that stubborn belly fat.
Mhm.
Okay. The weight training is going to be great for your posture, for your bone density. The weight training also burn calories longer,
Yes.
right? The weight training will burn calories longer for hours
Mhm.
after that workout is done, because the little tiny tears in your muscles after strength training, the muscles have to repair.
Mhm.
And that repair process burns calories. So when you're doing strength training, we do 5, 6 workouts a week, right?
Mhm.
I have a physician. She does 7 days on, seven. She's a hospitalist. seven
Yeah.
days on, 7 days off. Wasn't doing any workout. Why is she doing 5 a week now, even on her on service weeks? Because
Mhm.
she's doing it in her car room, right? Again,
Mhm.
it is a change of mindset. It's
Mhm.
I am doing this for my life. I
Right.
am doing this for being a good, strong grandma for my
Yeah.
my grandkids, right? What is your big why? Why are you doing this? Right? I want to be playing tennis when I'm 85.
By
I
the
don't know
way, she
about
plays
y'all.
tennis too, y'all. Let me tell you. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Work.
tap into what is it that you want to be,
Yes.
right? How do you want to feel in your body? How do you want your body to function, right? I've had people come to me because one of my clients who came to me, her breaking point was she could not reach her foot to tie her shoes,
Oh.
right? And when you can't bend over to tie your own shoes, a functional thing that you used to be able to do, that's
Mhm.
it's time, right? It's time to address the issue.
Mhm.
So, I just want people to ask themselves, am I happy with how I'm showing up for me?
Mhm.
For the menopausal symptoms I'm having, and not taking care of it, not addressing it, seeing that it's negatively affecting my sleep, my sex life, the way I show up in the world. I'm not feeling self assured, right? Is that what I want? Ask
Mhm.
yourself that. And if it isn't, then you need to get support,
Absolutely.
right? You need to get
And
support,
you
whether it's
need
with
to make that
me, whether
decision.
yes, whether it's with your primary doctor, your GYN, start really researching what are the things that I can do, right?
Mhm.
Because we have medications now that are safe that you can
Mhm.
use. And I'm telling you, 6 to 8 weeks in on these hormone supplementation, you will be back to your old self. You will have that sense of vitality. You will have energy, because that's another thing, that fatigue, the fatigue that comes with menopause, the brain fog that comes with menopause, right? One of my clients forgot how to get into her house. She lives
Oh.
alone. She forgot the code. I mean, like, we're talking life altering things that are happening with women out here.
Mhm.
So you get to make yourself a priority, right? You get
So
to make yourself
important.
a priority.
So important. We've really tapped into a lot so far. We really tapped into the importance of when the hormonal changes that's happening in a woman's life once you hit 35. There are many hormonal changes that's going on. Also paired with the fact that there are many women who are choosing to start their families later in life. And so not only are you hormonally, you're losing these hormones naturally, but also
Mhm.
you're losing a lot of nutrition because these are hormones that affect bone density, strength, muscles. But naturally, you're losing that at 35. In addition, when you are starting your family, I mean, kids, listen, I always tell patients, I'm like, that kid is gonna, while they're in the body, they're gonna
It's
pull
like
through no matter
parasites.
what.
You suck all
Yeah,
your
they're gonna
nutrients.
just suck nutrients no matter what. So think about paired with that. So by the time now you are at that age, you've already lost bone density naturally. Plus, you nutritionally, with starting your family, you're losing that. So you also start to feel the changes when you're getting this brain fog. If you're not being cognizant and intentional, then you start losing muscle mass. And so you have to really be intentional, as you mentioned, in having muscle and weight training as a part of your strength training,
Mhm.
as a part of your routine. I
Yes.
and I and I be honest, like I do it, but then sometimes I fall off.
And
I
well,
fall off.
there's also this sort of
Yeah.
negative, that a lot of women with strength training, they're like, oh, but I don't want to look bulky. Do I
Oh,
look
no, no,
bulky?
no. I want to
Have
look
y'all
bulky
seen
because
my picture?
I know that once I'm bulky, that means that's protecting my bones. The muscle.
Yes, it's like you want to make sure you don't have that kyphosis,
Yes.
look of hunched over
Mm-hmm.
because your posture is affected,
Yep.
when you don't have strong bones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to do the strength training. It's great for your posture, right? You don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be that hunched over older lady look, right? It's great for your posture. You burn more calories. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's very effective in weight loss.
Yes.
Okay, that's how you're gonna lose that belly in the front of you. Is you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do some strength training. You're gonna still get some cardio in, but the strength training is a major part. You're gonna eat well. You're
Yeah.
gonna clean your meal plan. You're gonna reduce the. Yesterday, I give my ladies. I'm doing an open house this week, and
Mm-hmm.
yesterday we did nutrition. It's a 5-day open house I'm running this week. Yesterday was the nutrition topic, and I gave them a macros cheat sheet. Right,
Mm-hmm.
the macros cheat sheet broke down all the common foods so you
Mm-hmm.
know what you're eating. You
Mm-hmm.
know the grams of protein, grams of carbs, grams of fat in the common foods you're eating, right? So when you're doing this work, a complete overhaul of your nutrition, adding things that actually support women in perimenopause, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, the omega-3 acids are huge. So you want to make sure you're adding nuts, you're adding avocado, you're adding, things like fish, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
changing your meal plan so that it works for a perimenopausal woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the meal plan is important. The sleep hygiene is important. Stress management is important.
Let's talk about that, right?
It's like you need structure. You need like, a bunch of things lined up that now becomes your ways of being. It now
Mm-hmm.
becomes, look, this is for my life,
Yes.
right? This is not to just be cute. This is for me to live in a way that genuinely feels happy, feels
Yes.
well,
Mm-hmm.
right? And, Dr. Kathy Stepien came in as a guest speaker in my program. I have guest speakers once a month. You're going to need to come in there too. We're gonna have to- you're gonna need you to come in as a
We
guest
will make
speaker.
that happen.
Right, right. But she said, I always credit her for this because she came in last January 2024, as our new year, starting the year guest speaker. And she said, always ask yourself, what do I need to be well? That stuck with me. What do I need to be well? And that could change from week to week.
Yes.
One week it could be I need sleep. Another week it could be I need a girlfriend meeting, right? I need
Mm-hmm.
to get together. One another week it could be I need a date night with my partner.
Mm-hmm.
Another week could be I need to talk to no one.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I need
So,
to be like with my thoughts because
yes.
we're so much with others on a consistent basis. So yeah, you're right.
What do I need to be well?
Mhm.
Self that question and just be, honest,
Yes.
right? And then implement. That's the other piece. We hear a lot of things, but then we don't follow through,
Yes.
right? So when you
Hmm.
start focusing on your wellness, your menopause wellness, your physical fitness, your sleep, your hydration, your meals, your movement, your emotions, your
Hmm.
thoughts, right? That's how you become holistically well.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I hope that's helpful.
Oh, it's absolutely helpful. The thing is that on a regular basis, we think about fitness and we think about fitness as I'm exercising. Well, there we go. But there's so much more
Oh my
to it.
gosh,
As
it's
I
so
said,
much.
with the holistic part, like,
Yes.
the social aspect, because human beings are social beings. So the fitness is, of course, a big part, and nutrition is a big part, right? But rest, sleep is a big
Yes.
part. Self-care, what is it that you, as the question that you ask yourself, what is it that I need for me? That's a big
Hmm.
part. Connecting with loved ones, connecting with
That's your
friends.
social self care.
That's
Yes.
your
So,
social,
yes.
and that's a big aspect that some people, it's either you put more emphasis on that or you don't put enough emphasis on it. So it's
Yes.
important to be able to balance all of that, and
Hmm.
connecting all of those pillars together. And financial
Yes.
healthcare is also
You've got
important.
financial self care, intellectual self care. You've got social
Yes,
self care. You've got spiritual self care. Right? You've
absolutely.
got recreational self care.
Yeah. Hmm.
Right. So
Yeah,
there's all these major areas of self care.
that you have
How
to balance
Yes.
those
How are you
parts.
stimulating your mind? How are
Hmm.
you stimulating your body? How are you stimulating your spirit?
Hmm.
Right? What are you doing for your spiritual self-care? Sometimes people ignore that part.
And they feel different once they start to be intentional with
Hmm.
their spirituality,
Hmm.
whatever it is that makes you feel grounded, and to
Yes.
recognize that your existence in this world is more than you know
It needs to be grand.
we're not here for mediocre. I
No,
love you said we just want to live
no,
a
you're
mediocre
not.
life.
You know, take up space.
Take
I'm always supporting her since she started her fitness journey. I'd be like,
and
yeah,
take up space. Now,
take
here's the
up
other thing too.
space.
As we transition to the other part of this wonderful conversation, there's some people who are listening to that part and they will sit and wonder, was Dr. Di, were you always like this? Were you always able to do all this? Or have you ever been through burnout? Or is this just been like, oh my gosh, you know what? Yes, I came in, I was 14. I was able to come in and say, okay, yeah, I want to be a doctor. And I was able to just become a doctor. And then, emergency med, and started my business. And then, life was just grand. And I've just never been through anything. So this fitness journey
No,
didn't
not at
do
all. We all have tests, right? My mother always
absolutely.
says, you got to have to test to have a testimony,
Yes,
right?
the
And
test comes
so,
before the testimony. Absolutely.
yes. And so the turning point in my life was really between 2010 and 2012, right?
Mm,
Well,
mm-hmm,
2009 and 2012. It was kind of like, 3 years or so
mm-hmm,
where I lost my dad to diabetes,
mm,
complications of diabetes, and I felt so guilty about it. I was like, I'm a doctor. I really
mm-hmm,
could have done more. I was in this whole guilt trip about what I didn't do to help him. And I was like, I'm not getting diabetes, right?
mm-hmm,
Because now my risk is higher because I have a direct first degree relative, right,
mm-hmm,
with diabetes. I have half siblings with diabetes, right? So
mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I'm not getting this disease, right?
Mhm.
Because it's preventable. For
Yes.
people who don't know, diabetes is preventable, right? Type 2 diabetes, adult onset diabetes is preventable. And
Mhm.
so I was like, I'm making this my life mission,
Mhm.
okay, to be where it ends. This stops with me,
Right.
right? This is not going to be hereditary because, us Black folks, we would call something hereditary in a minute. Oh,
Yeah, but you're like,
hereditary. It doesn't have to run in your family,
mhm.
right? Bad habits in eating, bad habits in not working out, bad habits with eating the wrong foods may run in your family,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you can change that.
Right.
It can change with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is what happened to me. And mourning my dad was the hardest thing at that point in my life I had ever experienced,
Mm-hmm.
right? And shortly after that, my marriage started to fall apart. I was going through a divorce, and our youngest son was diagnosed with autism during the separation.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about a trifecta,
Right.
right? So for me, that was my lowest point. I was still mourning my dad. I'm ending my marriage. I'm dealing with an almost nonverbal child.
Mm-hmm.
And look at Tom now,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, oh gosh, I'm like feeling emotional about this because for me, I was like, I didn't sign up for this. This is
Mm-hmm.
not what I expected this to look like. This
Mm-hmm.
is not what I expected this to, to play out.
Right. You
Dad
had this
told me,
vision of your life, and it just seemed
yes,
like all the cards were just
yes,
falling.
everything was just, and I was in my bathroom on the floor crying, like, just why is this happening to my child?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen
Absolutely.
children with autism as an ER doctor for years. And that's how I knew, very early on that something was going on,
Mm-hmm.
with him. And my ex-husband, not being a medical person, said, oh, he's shy. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, "This more to this,
Yeah.
and we went and got all the testing and things done. But that whole experience for
Mm-hmm.
me was really life altering because I was putting so much energy in being wife, in being mom, in being ER doctor, in being all these things. And I still look pregnant, like four.
Oh.
And people at the ER were like, Dr. Lake, you having another kid? I was like, sheesh.
Oh.
Okay, it's time for me to start working on me.
Yes.
And I was like, all right, we got to do something because emotionally I wasn't well.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, my body still looked like I was pregnant. And I just felt icky. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, I got to do something for me.
Right.
All right. And so that's where my fitness journey started was
Mm-hmm.
at one of my lowest moments, one of my girlfriends told me, let's go for a run. I was definitely not a runner. I knew the benefits of, exercise, but even at that point, I wasn't truly a committed exercising person. I would just go
Right.
once in a while. And I went for that run, and I'm telling you, the oh my gosh, we just did like a run walk, run walk, run walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt the exhilaration of, I don't know if those endorphins kicked in or the
Mm-hmm.
runner's high kicked in or what it was, but I went from feeling drained, exhausted, and feeling depleted, defeated, like all the things that you can think of. That emotional place I was, it was like for a short while, that run just took it all away.
Oh, wow.
I was like, when are we going again?
Mm-hmm.
Because I need that feeling. It was like
Yes.
almost like, how when you get that dopamine rush,
Rush
you're like,
that
I want it
feeling.
again. I want it again. That brain reward system kicks in. And I was like, I need that feeling in my life.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling, yes, it doesn't take away that I'm still going through a divorce. I understand. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't take away that I get to mother this child the best way I can. So he shows up as the best version he can be.
Yes.
And we would do what we can with what we have. But I get to take care of me so that
Mm-hmm.
I'm a better mom for him and his brother. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
better human being, right? I'm a better
Mm-hmm.
daughter. I'm a better friend. I'm a better physician. I get to take care of me first. And that was like an epiphany. And I have not stopped since 2012. Do you hear me?
Absolutely.
I have not stopped and I ain't stopping. Try.
Nope. Nope.
Somebody try.
But it also shows that it works. So you've been on this journey consistently since 2012, and as with many, many, many physicians who start businesses, you're on this journey. You saw the benefit of it. Like, what you just mentioned, those lowest points in your life, those are no joke. Like, some
Yeah.
people go through just one of what you just mentioned. You went through all three simultaneously, you know
Yeah.
and so when you were at that lowest point, you found this solution that's healthy, that's beneficial,
Yes.
that can that got you through. And this, you've brought this journey along with you. And then you have been able to mold all of this, not only for that point in your life, but for this current phase, and helping
Mhm.
other women, and especially those who are in the healthcare field, who
Yes.
completely understand the erratic schedule, and
Mhm.
the
We're
chaos,
so giving of
and
ourselves
the
to the work,
consistent, yeah, the
you
consistent
know?
hyper giving, that goes
Yes.
on, the guilt that goes on when you can't give or are unable to, and learning how to balance that. So you've been able to do that, and tap into that, and build these wonderful programs. Now, we've found out about what you and how you got to this, especially during that period. I mean, it's evident that yes, burnout can absolutely be considered, although it's technically considered with work. But I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
all of that work wasn't like super, like, oh, it's great. You still
Yes.
have
I
to
mean,
be.
what happens is they say what you do one place, you do everywhere,
Yeah.
right? So when you're feeling depleted at home,
Mm-hmm.
it spills over. It
Absolutely.
spills over into all other areas of your life, into
Mm-hmm.
your parenting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I even took a parenting course. I don't want to yell at my kids anymore. Yes, I was a
Mm-hmm.
yeller,
Mm-hmm.
not proud of it, but I was stressed the heck out.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you're
I
you were
didn't
grieving
know
so
how
many
to,
things at the same
yeah,
time.
it's like, how do you manage your own emotions,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm telling you, mothering this little boy has built up my patience. I had zero patience,
Mm-hmm.
zero. But
Mm-hmm.
when you have a child that you have to care for,
Mm-hmm.
you develop new traits. You develop new, you know, habits. You figure out a way. Like, look, we're living this. This is
Mm-hmm.
not a, rehearsal. This
Yeah,
is life. So I took
absolutely.
a parenting class on it. It's called positive parenting something. And I was like, I want to be able to manage myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I expect these kids to be a certain kind of way, I have to model it, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm not modeling it very well right now.
Right. But the awareness, and
Calling
but
yourself out,
that
right?
shows you thought, and you create a plan, and then you implement, which is,
Yes.
so you have, like you said, that consistency in behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you really do have to take ownership,
Mm-hmm.
right? And a lot of the coaching, I've done coming into coaching women for fitness, weight loss, and menopause wellness, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of it was rooted in emotional intelligence work, right? So I
Absolutely.
did two, emotional intelligence coaching leadership programs that
Mm-hmm.
really supported me in being able to call yourself out,
Mm-hmm.
right? Ask yourself, how am I showing up? Is it the best I can do?
Am I being the best version of
Right.
myself?
Is
Yeah.
this the best I can do for me? Because we do the best for our job, we do the best for our kids. We're in integrity with our word to
Yeah.
bosses who don't give a crap about us, but we want to be that employee. And that girl, please. I haven't been an employee, so I'm so like, being an entrepreneur. That's another thing, right? You have a completely different mindset when you're
Mm-hmm.
running businesses,
Yes.
when you have to do the things to put food on the table for your family versus you already know it's coming, you just got to show up and be an employee at work.
Yeah.
Completely different ways that you show up in the world,
Absolutely.
right? And so every step of the way, it's just been blessing upon blessing upon blessing. So every time something breaks down, I'm like, listen, I will go through the breakdown to get to the breakthrough.
Yes.
So I'm ready for the breakdown. Let's go through it because there's something at the end of this.
Absolutely.
And I
It's just
want
like
to be
those
like,
muscles. Let's put it like this. When you exercise, what's going on with those muscles?
yes,
They're breaking
it's
down.
breaking down so you can look fabulous.
Yes, because that's the next step from there. The build up,
Yes,
the breakthrough. Oh
yes,
man.
that breakthrough is coming. It's coming. Okay. I know I sound like an evangelist right now.
Well, you are. You're an evangelist for the work that you do, because you know
Yes,
how important it is. It's
yes,
so yes, yes, you be an evangelist. And no, I'm not going
yes.
to let
And
you
I,
not be
I
an evangelist.
know this is the thing for me. The women who come to me are freaking amazing women. They're running operating rooms. They're doing robotic surgery. They're running ERs. They're running courtrooms. They're in C-suites. They're doing these incredible things in the world. And the one thing that they're still struggling with is their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
They're struggling with fitness. They're struggling with weight management. They're struggling with menopause. And when we fix that, girl,
The show that,
they're already like powerhouses. When
yeah,
you fix that, it's like they don't even know how to act. They're like, they ain't ready for this version of me.
the 2.0 version that's coming out. You know, there's so many. Let me before we run out of time and we don't get to tell these people about your thing. I do always ask my fun question, but I'll probably ask my fun question at the end because you're really, you have some wonderful programs. So let's tell people about some of these programs that you have to help to support the women who are, on this journey for fitness, especially those who are in the peri and menopausal phases of life, that life is coming at them with the things that we've just discussed. Like you said, these women are powerhouses at baseline, but they're still struggling with these not just insecurities, but these changes that's happening in their body, but they're suffering in silence, and you are here to help and support them with this journey. So tell them about the programs that you have,
Yes.
what you have going on now, and how can people support you. And then after that, we're going to ask our fun question of the day, and then we'll leave out with the fun question. Go ahead.
Oh God, I'm worried about the fun question.
You should be worried because I got lots of ammunition on my fun question. But go ahead.
But let me tell you. So I've been running the fitness and weight loss program since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's one-on-one coaching. They come in and I have a course. I have a fitness transformation course that they go through. They get 35 hours of CME, continuing medical education credits for this course. So mostly physicians and dentists come in and they're getting credits, for the course. Other professionals too, psychologists, social workers, they can get continuing credits as well. So we've got that component where they go through this course, they learn about mindset mastery, they learn about nutrition, they learn about strength training, they learn about managing their emotions, setting boundaries, all those things around self-care. And so that's one where they get one-on-one coaching with me, like we're sitting here now, that we have their one-on-one sessions. Then I have a continuity program because people were like, I've done 20 weeks. Now what? I'm not leaving.
Like, so why are you going to drop me?
They're like, what are we doing next? And so I had to come up with something. So it evolved over time. Now I have a month-to-month continuity program that people who've done the one-on-one program and gotten all the foundation and basics, they want to be in. I have people who, like a couple people now who've been in since November 2023. Right, ongoing, and this is just a part of their wellness plan, right? To be able to have coaching every week. So that program is a weekly coaching. You get weekly coaching, which is what the other people in the original program get too. But this one is just group. You have access to all the group activities. You don't have the one-on-one component. So for some people, they just want the group. For some people, they want a little bit more hand-holding. So you have those two opportunities. And then on top of that, if you want to do the menopause supplementation with the bioidentical hormones, we add that on. We add that on. There are other women who want to do weight loss medications. Right. So I prescribe weight loss medications. So I have different pods of people that are in the program doing different things that are individualized for them. Absolutely. Right. And so for the weight loss medications, I tell them, number one, we got to make sure you qualify. We've got to make sure that, there are no contraindications for you doing this. Are you trying to get pregnant? Are you, we go through all those things to make sure that they're a good candidate. Absolutely. Right. And then bring them in and add that piece to their plan. So there's some women I'm working with who are doing fitness and weight loss coaching plus menopause wellness. There's some who are doing fitness and weight loss coaching plus the weight loss medications. And some of them that don't want to do either of those and just do strictly weight loss management and fitness coaching. So those are the different programs that I have. And,
Are you currently enrolling, or it's
yes.
like, yes, I'm just letting you know about this, but I'm kind of booked.
No, actually, we are enrolling. And this week,
Mhm.
today will be day 3 of our 5 days of the open house. So we have
Okay.
an open house, a fitness coaching open house going on right now, where people can actually still enroll in the open house and get the replays of yesterday.
Mhm.
Yesterday we did a nutrition talk, a training, and I gave them the macros, the macros guide. And then Monday was mindset mastery. So
Okay.
Monday was mindset mastery, where they actually did an audit of their fitness. They got to rate
Mhm.
themselves. And it was quite
Absolutely.
eye-opening for them to see rating yourself on where you are with your sleep, rating yourself on where you are with, your self-care, rating yourself on where you
Mhm.
are with consistency with your movement, right?
Mhm.
And they got to see where they are now so they can know the areas that they
Where
need to
they're
move next, right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So the open house is currently going on till Saturday. And so
Mhm.
I can give you the link and you can share it
Yeah.
with you can share it with them.
Yeah.
It's 5 days of free coaching. Okay.
Mhm.
And you come in, you get a mini portal, not the one that my current clients get, but you get like a mini version of what the membership site would look like if you join the
Mhm.
program. So it's an open house to give you, like a little teaser for what
Right.
coaching with me would look like. Yeah. So you get your own, mini learning, platform that you can go on, listen to some of the modules from the course.
Mhm.
We give you a few things to kind of, just give you a
An
introduction to what it would look
idea.
like to work with me.
Love
Yeah.
it. Okay. So if now someone is listening right now, just during this time, is there a social media platform that if they go on this, they'll be able to see and just get the link immediately?
Yes. So they can go to
Mhm.
Facebook or Instagram. So my
Mhm.
Instagram handle is right there on my name at Dr. Di Fit Life. So that's my Instagram handle. If they go on there and they click the links in the Instagram, Instagram give you links.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll see the link to join the open house. They'll see a link to book a call with me. They'll see a link to join my free fitness accountability group. I
Mhm.
have close to 4,000 women in there, mostly physicians, actually,
Mhm.
and other professional women. It's called Professional Women Getting Fit.
Right.
Professional Women Getting Fit is the Facebook fitness accountability group. We do
Mhm.
little, like mini fitness challenges in there. I go in there and teach. You've seen me
Mhm.
go in there. I go in there. I'm teaching. I do live
Yes,
streams
ma'am.
in
I
there.
see you. I see you in there talking about, like you said, your fitness, about the macros, and letting us know. How do you think I know that you're getting on that elliptical? Let's go ahead.
I'm on there. I do live streams. My other live stream I did the other day was at 11 o'clock at night. And I did it because I was like, look, this is how it looks in real life.
Yes.
In real life, sometimes I'm doing my workout at 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to pretend and tell you that I look and feel this way because everything's perfect. It's not.
It's not. I love it. So let me ask my fun question before we end this wonderful conversation.
Okay.
So, if you weren't a doctor and doing this wonderful fitness life, self care queen, macros queen, able to balance, you know, all of these things in life with this fitness journey, the weight loss journey, the menopausal journey. All right, I was gonna be mean because I know you for real, for real. So I was gonna be like, and you ain't going to carnival.
You see my paintings on the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, my paintings on the wall. These 3 paintings were
Uh-huh.
done by Dr. Leslie Williams. She's a physician. She's an artist here in Alexandria in DC, right? And I have 3 paintings. I don't know if you can see them. All
Yes, I
right.
see two of them.
Yeah, there's another one over here you can't see in my view, but I got them from her. So plug for Dr. Leslie. She's an
Yes.
artist and she does
Okay.
amazing work. And she's also a carnival queen.
Okay. So I'm pulling all of that off the the table. What would you be? Wait, because I see you planting flowers. So you can't be, I see you planting flowers. So you can't be planting flowers. So you're not like a florist.
Just saying you
You're not
can't
a
be planting
carnival queen.
flowers.
I know. I just take it
Listen,
everything.
gardening is workout. Let me tell
I
you that.
know. I
Gardening is
know.
no
That's why I
joke.
pulled it off. Pulled it off the table. But what would you be?
So what would I be? It's a great question because it's actually where I see myself going now.
Okay.
Yes, I would be a retreat person. Like I
Like
would
a
just run
like
fabulous
throw
retreats.
throw retreats?
Yes, I
Okay.
would do wellness retreats. You saw us in Turks and Caicos on that yacht.
Mm. I'm just saying. Yes, I did. Yes,
Listen,
I did. With the clear, the
oh, the
beautiful
clear
picture of
kayak photo
everyone that's
shoot.
on that.
Yes,
No,
yes.
no,
Listen,
no,
that
now
would
I
be
can
my
see it.
life 24/7. I would not be
Nice.
practicing medicine. I would be like this holistic retreat person
Mm-hmm.
who like one month we're going to Bali, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
Bali was wonderful. I went several years ago, but we're going to Bali. We're going to be in
Yeah.
Bali for 10 days. We're doing all the things in Bali, okay? You
Mm-hmm.
can bring your partner.
Yes.
I mean, that's like a dream for me right now is how do you
Mm-hmm.
take everything you have, accomplished and put
Mm-hmm.
it in something where the hardworking women that you've worked with now have a way to celebrate themselves, celebrate their wins, celebrate all the things they've done in this beautiful Turks was wonderful. Like I would totally go to Turks again,
Mm-hmm.
and just like get to relax and rest
Mm.
their minds, rest their bodies, and retreats. That's it. And I do have a retreat coming up. I have a retreat in Mexico in April
In
24th
April.
to 27th. And that's built into my coaching program, actually. But
Okay.
I would love to get to a place where I'm just hosting retreats.
Alrighty, there we go. So for those of you guys who are watching, if you are thinking of going on a retreat, a wellness retreat, Lady Di or Dr. Di to you, but I can call her Lady Di. Lady Di to me.
Yes, can you imagine that lifestyle?
Yes, I can see you. Like I said, you're the self care queen. I've dubbed you the self care queen. So I could see you putting together, like, consistently wonderful retreats in beautiful spaces and areas to bring serenity, to bring peace, to
Yeah.
bring a holistic view, and to center that person. So when they go back, they're the best
Yes.
version of themselves. They're
Yes.
always, will be the best version of
We need
themselves.
that.
I love it. So, alrighty, this has been fantastic. Not only is it fantastic, it was a lot of fun and it was a lot of great information. So for those who came in, and you know how it is, there's some people that were able to get just some of this, and then there are others that were like, oh my gosh, you know what? I need to listen to this again. All right, have no fear, right? Because this wonderful conversation is available on our Your Current Docs website. That's URCARINGDOCS.com. Select podcast. You're going to see Dr. Di's beautiful face. Download that episode and send it to at least 5 to 10 of your friends who you
Yes.
know are, yes, going through it, especially trying to figure out, like, what's this going on with me? No, you're not crazy. Yes, you might be going through this hormonal changes, right? And you have gotten lots of information on today's episode on how it affects your body and what are some ways that you can keep not only physically fit but also emotionally fit, because we talked about a lot of
Yes.
emotional wellness today. You can get in contact with Dr. Di on her Instagram at Dr. Di Fit Life, and she has a wonderful program that's going on now. She has an open house, so if you're listening to this today as we're broadcasting live, you have access to her open house. If not, she has ways for you to work with her on her website. If you are on Facebook, then she's Dr.
Di
Fit Life
Fitness.
Fitness.
It's Dr. Di
Fitness.
Fitness. So on Facebook, it's Dr. Di, DRDI, and then the word fitness.
Fitness.
So
Yes,
that's the
Dr. Di
Facebook.
Fitness. Absolutely, absolutely. So, this wonderful episode today is brought to you from my second company, Truly Balanced Wellness Care. So, I have this wonderful company to help those who want to get some support in weight care management. Just come if you'd love to work with me, especially if you are in the Houston, or not even Houston, just Texas, period. In a Texas location, just go ahead and book a consultation on Truly Balanced. That's with a D, WC.com. Truly Balanced with a D, WC.com. Looking forward to supporting you and all the people who are on this journey to wellness, on this journey to living the best version of themselves. 25 is the year that you're going to feel more alive.
Woo!
Alrighty, thank you all for watching. I look forward to hearing from you. And don't forget to connect with either me, Dr. Beckford, or with Dr. Dianah Lake on our social media. We'll see you guys on the
Thank you so
next
much.
time. Thank you
Bye,
so much, Dr.
guys.
Di, for spending this wonderful time with us. Alrighty,
Thanks
guys.
for
Well, you
having
take care.
me.
My pleasure. We'll see you guys next time.